Hello, good evening, viewers of this Bhagavad Gita videos and seekers of knowledge. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Now, today we'll continue the 11th sloka of the 8th chapter. Till now, we have completed 10 slokas. Now, the 11th one, first I will read and then I will explain. यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विसन्ति यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये వేదవేత్తలు దేనిని నాశరహితమైన దానినిగా చెప్పుచున్నారో కోరికలు నశించిన యత్నశీలురు దేనియందు ప్రవేశిస్తున్నారో దేనిని కోరి జనులు బ్రహ్మచర్యమును అనుష్ఠించుచున్నారో అట్టి పరమాత్మ పదమును గూర్చి నీకు చెప్పెదను. So here the meaning of this sloka is Lord Krishna is saying, O Arjuna, now I am going to tell you that path of liberation or path of salvation which will lead you to God, and that path of liberation which many practitioners sadhakas have practiced. He is talking about 3 different types of practitioners. You understood practitioners, no? Sadhakas, those who are seekers, spiritual aspirants of God or self-realization. So he is talking about 3 different types of such aspirants or seekers of knowledge, of realization. What he is saying, the first type of persons are those who are observing continence and celibacy in their life. Why? Because they want to focus all their energies towards the realization of the ultimate. So they are also following this path only. Which path? Now he is going to tell. And the second type of persons are those who have discarded all their desires and are striving hard on the path of liberation. So they are also following this path which I am going to tell you now. And the last but not the least, third type of persons are those who are knowers of Vedas. They know everything about Vedas and Upanishads, Vedanta, that is Upanishads, and they speak of God as indestructible and supreme God. So they are also following the same path. Now I am going to tell you that path. So that is the meaning of this sloka. Now he is telling the actual practice or the path of liberation. Now you have to recollect that all this ongoing discussion is the answer for that question which Arjuna asked at the beginning of this chapter. Do you remember? At the beginning he asked, what is Adhyatmam, what is Adhibhutam and all those things. And the last 7th question he asked was, at the time of death, a person or a yogi, how can he realize you, O Lord Krishna? Please tell me. How at the time of death it is not possible to remember anything, and we can remember only those those which are due to the strong tendencies. Only we remember those memories which we have inculcated in our entire life, or which have strong tendencies in our heart, in our minds. Those only we will remember. But how can I remember you at the time of death? Because at the time of death, if I remember you, then I can attain you. That is why Arjuna has asked that question, and Krishna told several answers, and those are all basically same answers but different angles. Now this is also another answer to the same question, how you can know me, Lord Krishna, but with a slightly different angle. Let me read this. Now we are moving to the 12th and 3rd slokas. Basically, we cannot dislink this, unlink these two slokas. These two slokas are one, can be considered as one set only, because the topic is continuous. So we cannot split the slokas into 12 and 30. 12 and 30 together only. First I will read the slokas. Sarvadvarani samyamya मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्ध्नि आधायात्मनः प्राणम् आस्थितः योगधारणाम् ओमिति एकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् माम् अनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं सह याति परमां गतिम्. సో ఎవరు ఇంద్రియ ద్వారములన్నిటినీ బాగా అరికట్టి మనస్సును హృదయమందు అంటే ఆత్మయందు లెస్సగా స్థాపించి శిరస్సునందు ప్రాణవాయువు నిలిపి ఆత్మను గూర్చి ఏకాగ్ర చింతన అంటే యోగ ధారణ కలవాడై పరబ్రహ్మవాచకమైన ఓం అని అక్షరమును ఉచ్చరించుచు నన్ను ఎడతెగక చింతించుచు శరీరం నొదలునో అతడు మోక్షమును పొందుచున్నాడు, సర్వోత్తమ స్థానమును పొందుచున్నాడు. సో what we'll read each and every. So there are several exercises, spiritual exercises prescribed in these two slokas. Sarvadvarani samyamya. This is the most important. Sarva means all. Dvarani means gates, entrances. Samyamya means control. So basically what is the meaning? How many gates or entrances are there in our body? There are 9 gates or 9 entrances to our body. That means these gates allow us to interact with the outer world. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears, 2 excretory organs. So total 9. So why these are called as gates or entrances to the body? Because so only if we open our eyes only we can see the external world. So we are basically opening the gates. So in the same way the smell, or if we open this gate mouth, then only we will be able to eat food, drink water, and we can able to talk. So this is a gate, and these two are gates for hearing. So if I close them with something, then I can't hear anything. And the 2 excretory organs, if we open the gates only, all the waste matter inside the body will be evacuated. So that is why it is called, they are called as gates. And there is one more gate after the birth. So we at the time of birth, when we are in the mother's womb, we as a individual soul enter the top of the head, center of the top of the head. There is a small cleft called as a Brahmarandram or Sahasrara Chakram. So that is Brahmarandram. Randram means hole or cleft, and Brahma means Parabrahma or Supreme Soul. So the Supreme Soul enters, that is also there in Aitreya Upanishad also. So our individual soul enters this Brahma's cleft or the this opening, and then it slowly comes between the eyebrows, then it comes behind the throat and all the 7 energy centers which I explained you in the previous videos. So that is how we entered this body. We are not this body, we are basically that individual soul, which is none other than Supreme Soul. So that individual soul which is pure light, that is our nature. We are thinking this head, these eyes, these ears, these hands, these legs, this stomach, this is myself. No, that is wrong. We are basically that individual soul. It is pure light, it is pure consciousness, it is pure energy. So our true nature is that. You can inquire any yogi, they will tell you that. So it enters through this Brahmarandram or this gate. But after it enters and the child comes out of mother's womb, that entrance will be closed. When it will be opened again? When a yogi sits in meditation and he and he is able to collect all his life forces and ascend the same path through which he came down. He again ascends the same path, comes between the eyebrows and leaves this Brahmarandram, or leaves this aperture. At that time only that gate will be opened. That is where basically nobody will speak of it as an entrance, but it is an entrance. It's a yogic entrance, not ordinary human entrance. So these are the 9 gates and that one gate, 10 gates are there. Now what basically Krishna is suggesting is Sarvadvarani Samyamya. Samyamya means control. So he is not saying to close permanently all those gates, then we will die without realization. God knows what is realization, but we won't die even without realization. That very moment. That's Krishna's meaning is not to close those gates permanently. If I close these 2 gates, then I will die instantly, because I need air for respiration and to live. So he is saying basically Samyamya means not closing the gates, it is controlling the gates. When to open, when to close those gates. So we should be very careful of allowing certain sites, all these movies, mobile phones, internet, televisions, whatnot, all these are bringing in so much garbage into our body and mind. We should not see certain things which are not helping us to achieve the supreme realization. So such worldly enjoyments, we should shut the eyes. No, I don't want to see them. And certain type of music which are not helping us to achieve God, because basically music can be used to achieve God very easily, but we are listening to some other music, all this movie music and all. So we have to close those ears and sit in meditation at that time. Like that, we have to use all these gates. We have to talk only good words, not bad words. So we have to eat only sattvic foods, not all the rajasic and tamasic foods we should not eat and drink. So like that, we have to basically control our 9 gates of senses. That is the first step. He is saying Sarvadvarani Samyamya. Samyamya means control. Manohrudi Niruddhyacha. Then the next step is Mano means manas, means mind. We should Niruddhya Hrudi. That means Niruddhya means we should focus it on. Hrudi means spiritual heart, not the physical heart. So in the spiritual heart, you focus your mind. That means nothing but Atma, our individual soul. So you can focus it at the heart, or you can focus it at the spiritual eye, which is between the 2 eyebrows. So Mano Hrudi Niruddhyacha, sit in meditation with concentration on the Atma. Then Murdhni Adhaya Atmanaha Pranam. Pranam means life forces. Atmanaha, your own life forces. What you have to do? Murdhni Adhaya. Murdhni means in the head. In the head is, I told you, once that soul enters the body, it will first step, it descends is between the 2 eyebrows and in the center of the head. That is called as Agnya Chakram. That is another energy center. So Murdhni means in the head. In the head, that means at that energy center. Adhaya, you hold all your life forces. Now the life force is in the palms, in the feet, in the legs, in the stomach, in the heart, in the head, all the nervous system, all the nerves, everywhere it is spread, that your life forces. Now you want to bring all those life forces and focus it here. That is the meaning of this. Murdhni Adhaya Atmanaha Pranam, your life force. Astitaha Yoga Dharana. Astitaha means take the position, take the firm determination and meditation on what? Yoga Dharanam. I mean, you be in that position. In which position? Yoga Dharanam. Dharanam means retention, holding. What you have to retain? Yoga. Yoga Dharana. That means you have to retain your focus on the Atma, on the Supreme Soul. That is meant by Yoga Dharana. That means you are continuously focusing on that. Even though you are listening some sounds, external sounds, or your mind is working something, but you have to focus it and remain in that retention mode. Then what is the next step? Om it ekaksharam brahma vyaharan. Om means A-U-M, Aum. It's not Om, it is Aum. So I told you at the beginning of this chapter, God has no vibration. He is always in a non-vibratory state. But this world will be created only with vibration. So he split his consciousness first into the cosmic intelligence, which is the master plan, which does the master plan of the entire universe. Then his consciousness further split into that vibratory force that is called Aum. See, please don't think that Aum is Hindu related. No. It is the cosmic sound. If you enter meditation and go into higher states, you will also listen. You will also be able to listen, no matter of what religion you belong. You may belong to Islam, you may belong to Christianity, you may belong to Buddhism, you may belong to Jainism or Sikhism or Hinduism. Everybody can hear that cosmic sound. Don't mistake that for Hindu related term. No. So if you ascend to higher meditative states, then you hear that is the vibratory force behind the creation. Without that vibratory force, we cannot create a single object. So your entire creation universe, the physical universes, astral universes, causal universes, all those baby universes, physical universes, everything was created with that vibratory force called Aum. So he is talking of that. Aum iti ekaksharam. Eka aksharam, single word, syllable. Eka means single. Aksharam means word, syllable. Brahma vyaharam. Brahma means it is representing Brahma or Parabrahma or the Supreme Soul. That is why we have to pronounce that. Isn't it? Aum came from that non-vibratory Supreme Soul only. So again it is pointing to that Parabrahman only, Supreme Soul. That is why Vyaharan means utter. Utter. We have to say Aum and merge with the sound in that Supreme Soul. So that is the path. So Aum iti ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan. That Aum which is denoting or representing that Parabrahma, we have to utter. So while uttering that and Mam Anusmaran, and continuously thinking of me, because I am that non-vibrating Paramatma, the supreme originator of even this Aum. Lord Krishna is the supreme soul, ultimate reality. So he is saying, Mam Anusmaran, you keep remembering me and uttering Aum. And you remember his holy form or pure light. You remember Lord Krishna's name, anything. Yaha prayati tyajan deham. Such a yogi who leaves the body, tyajan deham, leaving body. Yaha prayati, that means who travels. Prayati means to go. Sahayati paramam gatin. Such a person, such a adept yogi, yati, he attains what? Sahayati, he attains what? Paramam gatim, supreme destination. What is the supreme destination? Lord Almighty. So let us just recapitulate the whole thing. See, first you have to sit in meditation. Then you control all your gates. What are the gates? Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, all the excretory organs, all the nine gates you control. Then keep your mind on the Atman, that means the soul. Murdni adhaya atmanah pranam. So bring all your life forces, but bringing all these life forces, you may think, how is it possible? I don't know such techniques. You have to have certain basic introduction to yoga, at least some pranayama or some yogic postures called yoga asanas, some retention mudras. This is called jnana mudra. Like this, if you keep it, this is called jnana mudra. So like that, you have to have certain basic understanding of yogic practices. You learn that, it is very easy, no problem. So by practicing that yogic postures and breath retention exercises and all, you will be able to hold your life forces here. Then astitah yoga dharana, you be ready to you become mentally ready to be in that state continuously. You focus your mind, yoga dharana, you retain your mind. You see, if your mind looks outward, it is called parak. If your mind looks inward towards God, it is called pratyak. So pratyak means bahirmukham, looking outside. Pratyak means looking inside, antarmukham. So what Krishna is saying is, don't let your senses look outward, let them look inside. That is called pratyak. Looking out is parak. So by turning your senses and your mind inward, you try to hold your mind, yoga dharana, retain your mind and focus it on the Atman or soul. Then Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan. Keep chanting Om, Ma Manusmaran. Ultimately your goal is Lord Krishna. So you are remembering Lord Krishna and chanting Om to attain him. Then all this when at the time of death. That is the beauty of this sloka, of this verse. At the time of death, if that has to happen, then you should be practicing all these practices right from your young age. Then only that abhyasa or practice will be fortified. Otherwise, you will get some other thought at the time of death. At the time of death, who knows what will be in your mind? We are about to die. So through thorough practice throughout your life only, it is possible that your emotion or thought or feeling or all your ideology gets fortified and focused on Lord Krishna. That is the purport of this sloka. So you doing all these things, you leave the body. Then what will happen? I told you in the beginning, there is this 10th gate, Brahmarandram. So that will be opened, and your individual soul, the soul Jivatma, will again travel upwards into this Ajna Chakra and leaves this gate and permanently merges with the Supreme Lord. So that is the meaning of this. Yaha prayati tyajan deham sahayati paramam gatim. Such a person, such a great yogi will attain me. That's what he said.